So let's look at an example of the application of transactions. Take, for instance, there's need to transfer some amount of money from a bank. Let's say we are transferring 50,000 from an account in First Bank to another account in Access Bank. What do you think will be involved in this? What will be involved? What activities, what tasks do you expect to be involved in such a transaction? If you have an idea, just go ahead and tell us.
We'll be talking about using the word from.
No, I'm not talking about the SQL now. Just the task itself. Yeah. What activities do you think will be carried out?
Okay.
We are transferring 50,000 from account A in First Bank to account B in Access Bank. What will happen? What are the activities that will take place there?
On a bank application basis, we are looking like using an app, for instance.
Okay.
So
Don't worry. Let me just explain it. I think my question is not very clear. Let me just explain what I'm thinking about. See, if you are to do that, to transfer 50,000 from an account, let's call it account A in First Bank to account B in Access Bank, first of all, the app will check for the account balance in the account A. If there's adequate funds, what will happen? It will debit that account with 50,000, okay? And then it will try to connect to that other bank, Access Bank, check that account, and then try to credit that account with the 50,000, isn't it? Now, basically, let's just say there are two major operations there. Debit the first account with 50,000, credit the second account with 50,000, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, hope you know that at the background, okay, so in the database, how is this implemented? How is this implemented in a database? Because don't forget that at the background, it is SQL that manipulates these things. Okay. At the background, what happens is usually there's a table that contains the various transactions. Okay. So what happens is the transaction is recorded. If a debit transaction is recorded, if a credit transaction, it is recorded. So assuming there's a table called withdrawal, the transaction can be recorded there, and then on the other side, the transaction is recorded as a credit. Now, the point here is the two major operations are debiting the first account and then crediting the second account. What if the first account has been debited? Okay. Then, in the process of trying to credit the second account, a network problem occurs. What will happen?
That is what INEC called glitch. Transaction glitch.
Transaction glitch, right?
Yes, Definitely, the thing is going to, it depends on how, definitely the thing is going to be, the transaction will got stalled.
Yes. Now, you have already debited the first account, but the second account is not credited. That's a problem, right?
Yes.
You have debited the first account, the second one is not credited. So normally what happens is such transactions, they are supposed to be recorded like it's supposed to work like in the form of a transaction. All the operations will be carried out. If all of them are not successful, the whole transaction is reversed. The entire transaction is reversed. In other words, the transaction is rolled back. That's what we call a rollback.
Okay.
It's rolled back. Okay? That's called rollback. But if everything is successful, the transaction is committed. Committed means it is written to the database. Okay? Before the transaction ends, I mean, when you do a commit, that will automatically end the transaction. Before it ends, for example, this is a transaction now. Everything going on here is a transaction. Okay? Up to this point, it has not been saved into the database. It is just kept in memory. Then when you do a commit, everything is written, updated to the database. Okay? So transaction can be very useful, you know, in guarding against problems, anomalies in the in database activities or operations. Okay, I just give you an example now. A situation where you have to like um, delete or debit one account, credit another account. You have debited that one, then there's a problem. The second account could not be credited with the same amount. That will create imbalance in the accounts. But if everything is working as a transaction, after debiting the first account, if before it credits the second account, there's a problem, it will roll back all the entire transaction. In other words, the one it has debited before, it will credit it back. It will reverse everything. Okay? So that's how transaction can be used uh, to safeguard against problems in a database. Okay? So how does it work? This is an example here. Start transaction, you begin a transaction with the statement start transaction. That tells SQL or MySQL that you are working with a transaction now. Then you issue all the statements you want to issue, like this one now. Delete that, delete from footballers 2 where ID equals that, save points. Okay, this save points, where you have save points, anywhere you have save points, you can roll back to that point. For example, if I want to do a rollback now, I have save point, 2 save points in this transaction. So I can roll back to this point, or I can roll back to this point. So any point where you think you may have to roll back to, you put a save point statement there, like this one. So we have save points, SP1. We have another, then we say delete from footballers, so and so. Then we have another save point. Select that. Then let's say we say roll back SP1. It will reverse everything we have done. Like this delete, for example, it will reverse it to bring back that item that was deleted. Okay. Then when you do a commit writes everything to the database, okay, after committing, you cannot roll back anymore. Okay? Because you don't roll back what is already committed. You roll back what is transactions that are yet to be committed to the database. Are we on the same page?
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's see something here. Let me just try it out so you see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I want to see what's in the table. Tell me, what do I do? Select, right?
That's it.
Select all from, yeah, usually pronounce it as select all from what?
Footballers.
Transaction.
From footballers to, yeah. Footballers to,
Big ID.
all right.
Footballers too.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Footballers to. Oh, we had already emptied that. We had emptied it before. So let's insert the tables back. Let's insert the rows back. Okay. So the rows are back now. So let's see. Look at this statement: start transaction, save points, delete. So we are deleting this first one, right? So let's run this statement line by line. So you see, transaction has been I started the transactions. The transaction. Charles, are you there? Charles, can you hear me? Charles is out.
Charles logged out.
It's out. Okay. We started the transaction. Let's create our save points. Save points one created. What will this do? This will delete the first record. Okay, so let's check if actually it has been deleted. Is it deleted?
True.
It's deleted. Okay. What's the next statement? Another save point. Then what am I selecting this for anyway? Okay, we see it remains deleted. What's the next statement? So look at this now. I want to roll back the transaction to where? To where?
So save point one.
Say point one, which is here, which means everything up to this point is going to be reversed, which includes these deletes, right? So let's try it out. So roll back to SP1. Okay. Let's hear what it's saying. It says 0 rows affected. Okay, so let's do a select again. What happened?
Everything deleted is back again.
It's back again. So that's how transactions work.
Does this also, okay, this save point does not work with does it also work with? Well, I think it does. It does. Yeah. I'm looking at from the previous lessons we've had.
Mm.
Where we will delete. When we create a table,
Yes.
and you ask us to delete a row from the table.
Yes.
So in order to bring the table deleted back, can
Yes,
we
you
also
can do
use
this.
this save point?
Yes, so if you envisage that you will need to do that, then you can put those statements inside a transaction.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we say transaction, transaction ordinarily transaction creating a table could be a table that doesn't relate to money can also be considered as transaction.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Transaction in SQL speak, that's in SQL, in terms of
Language.
in SQL grammar,
Yes.
yeah, it's not, it doesn't have to do with it doesn't have to be money thing. Okay, it's just a group of statements that are run together as a group, as a set.
Okay.
Okay, and
Okay.
yeah, once the transaction is running, all the statements, it takes note of all the things you are doing. So it gives you the opportunity of reversing whatever you want to reverse, provided you have not committed to the
Okay.
database. Yes. So that's just what a transaction is. It's not the same as the ordinary meaning of the word transaction.
Okay.
Yes. It's just that incidentally, I use a financial thing to illustrate it, but it doesn't have to be financial.
Okay.
It can be like this one now. This has nothing to do with finance. What we just used to demonstrate it.
So another thing again,
Mm,
using the word commit, the
yeah.
statement commit,
Mm.
is it related to using save points? That whenever we use save points, we have to use the word commit.
Not really. Commit is what you want to do, at the end of the transaction. Okay. Save points doesn't directly work with commit. Save point works with rollback. That's why
Okay.
you say rollback to, then you mention a save point. Save point is just a way of marking certain points so that you can roll back to that point. For example, you just say roll back. Roll back to where? So
Okay.
SQL need to know where you want to stop your reversal. Where do you want to reverse it to? So if you say roll back to SP2, it will reverse everything up to SP2. If you say roll back to SP1, it will reverse all the statements up to SP1.
It's okay.
Okay.
For more clarity again,
Yeah.
from the transaction statement that you've written here
Mm.
for consideration, you said save point SP, that is a save point SP1,
Mm.
which of course that is the whole table from 1 to 4.
Come
That
again.
is what
Sorry.
it is.
What was that?
Save point 1, that is when we say start transaction,
Yes.
then we say save point 1.
Yes.
Save point 1, from what I've seen here, is all the 4 rows in the transaction table. So when you now say delete from footballers 2, where ID number is 1001.
Yeah.
So that shows me that we are removing row 1 out of the 4, which of
Yes.
course will
Exactly.
now return three rows.
Exactly. Now we have
Then,
three rows. Yes.
yes, then we'll now say save point 2. So to me, does it mean that save point 2 now becomes the 3 rows?
Yes. Now, when you do,
Good.
yes, 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 something like that. Because
Okay.
when you do save points, um, yes,
2.
that's correct. You are correct.
Okay.
Because at save point 1, it takes note. It knows the state of everything at that time. Just like you
Yes.
said, it knows that there are 4 rows. At this point, it knows that there are 3 rows. So when
Yes,
you
I
roll back, if we had rolled back to this place, it would not have reversed this statement.
Yes.
So it will remain
That's
three rows. Yes.
okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Clear.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Okay, unfortunately, Charles is out. It just occurred to me that he could have used the other screen since he wanted to make his screen very small. Could have used
Uh,
the console. With the
Please.
console, he could have made it very small so that he will have a space on the other side for the Zoom.
Okay. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Permit us to greet Stewart.
Stewart.
We've not heard his voice. I like to hear Stewart's voice. Stewart, are you there?
Yes,
Very,
Mr. Dot, I'm here. I'm fine. Thank you.
Hi, Stewart. I greet you, Stewart.
I greet you, I greet you, sir.
He's
Good,
listening
good, good
calmly.
to hear from you.